I want to look at some Fox News reaction to what is taking place in the Russia-Ukraine border area, particularly Donetsk and Luhansk, where Russia has now invaded slowly, but they've invaded. Fox News immediately went to blame Biden, and it's kind of, I mean, it's sort of funny, but it's not. I half jokingly tweeted yesterday afternoon before the invasion, how long until they say Trump never would have let Putin invade Ukraine? Or are they already saying it? And it actually happened very quickly, but was hilariously kind of spoiled by Fox News's own reporters. Here are some examples. Hannity spent the vast majority of his show last night blaming Joe Biden and saying that this is Biden's weakness is what has allowed this to happen in Russia, Ukraine, et cetera, et cetera. This ignores the fact that Trump was totally under the thumb of Putin, seemed enamored with Putin, as well as many other authoritarians during his presidency. This ignores that circumstances have been building for probably 20 years that relate to what is, maybe even more, that are now that relate to what's taking place on the Russia-Ukrainian border. But despite Hannity spending much of his show blaming Joe Biden, when reporter Jennifer Griffin pops up, she goes, you know, Sean, actually, what's going on predates this administration. Hannity sort of upended by his own reporters.
Sean, how we got to this point is a long story, and it predates the Biden administration. It goes back and includes mistakes made by every U.S. president since the Soviet Union fell apart, which Putin has said was the worst geopolitical catastrophe of the 20th century.
Well, that's not the narrative that Sean Hannity has been pushing on his show. Even Peter Doocy, who some consider one of the doofiest reporters out there, Hannity was complaining, oh, Joe Biden called the lid. He's not doing anything. Even Doocy has to tell Hannity, actually, even though it's nighttime, Biden is actively coordinating a response with our allies.
And the reason that we have not seen him yet is because they're trying to get everybody on board. And he's been working the phone, trying to get a bunch of allies to sign on to a statement with him.
But Sean Hannity said Biden's doing nothing and he called the lid and this is all his fault. This is, of course, so much bigger than Biden. But the response, similarly to when Joe Biden left Afghanistan, the narrative is Biden is in the wrong. Biden is the cause of problems. Biden is the reason we don't have a solution. And the very same people who were saying Biden's going to get us into wars and Biden's bad and Trump would have been better because Trump kept us out of wars. Those very same people are saying, well, Biden should have been more aggressive to prevent this from happening. So they are going to go with this narrative no matter what. Even a Republican senator, Ron Johnson, is doing the old blame Biden. This was him last night.
But the fact of the matter is, there's not much we can do right now. What we should have done is maintain strength. You do achieve peace with strength, but that's not just military strength. It's also economic strength. And as I was saying earlier, just about every action President Biden has taken has weakened America. It's emboldened our enemies. They're very opportunistic. They're very aggressive. When they sense weakness, they're going to act.
So wait a second. The same people. This is a reminder, guys, to think, what are our principles and are we standing by them? The same people who were saying we should be more friendly with Russia. We should be friends with Putin. We should be friends with Russia. We should be nice. We don't want war with Russia. Now we're saying Biden's been too weak. He hasn't shown strength. He hasn't deterred. These people should not even be part of the conversation. They are just horrible people, and they don't care about anything other than criticizing Democrats. They add nothing to the conversation. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more coverage of what's happening in Russia and Ukraine.